Don't you notice how I get quiet when there's no one else around? Me and you and awkward silence. Don't you dare look at me that way. I don't need reminders of how you don't feel the same. Oh, the burning pain, listening to you harp on about some new soulmate. She's so perfect, blah, blah, blah. Oh, how I wish you'd wake up one day. Run to me, confess your love. At least just let me say that when I talk to you, won't you bed walks right through and shoots right arrow through my heart. And I sound like a loon, but don't you feel it to confess I loved you from the start. What's a girl to do? Lying on my bed staring
I missed the lettuce lore.
unrequited, terrifying. Love is driving me a bit insane. Have to get this off my chest. I'm telling you today that when I talk to you, won't you bed walks right through and shoots right arrow through my heart. And I sound like a loon, but don't you feel it to confess I loved you from the start.
Copious amounts of lettuce and Ryans.
Confess I loved you, just thinking of you. You know I've loved you from the start.
Hello, 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 y'all. Welcome. Oh, my lighting is slightly off. Give me one sec.
Hello, 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 y'all. Hello, 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 y'all.
Hi, 404. Hi, Shem. I need to just walk back there to turn on a light. One sec. Okay. Now the front of my face. Hey! I'm refunding one of those, cat, because I was not at my computer. Hi, cat. You're getting refunded for one of those. I know that chances are that means I will just get another one right away, but... I accumulated 10k channel points. Congrats. Thank you, cat.
Hello, 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 y'all.
Hey, Shrey, welcome. I feel like this is the most chaotic start to a stream I've had in a long time. Wait, I need to read back through. 404, I missed the lettuce
Hello,
lore.
hello, hello, y'all.
Hey, Phoenix. It was a weird one. The lore there is weird. The lettuce game is coming together. Good to know, Kat. So I told you that my stream was on Wednesday. Surprise, I got the date wrong. It's today. So what we can do is we'll take a look at that next month. And then we'll go from there. 404, I can never get over 5k in the past like 4 months. Everything that I can go metal pipe goes metal pipe. What if you finish it during the stream? Share it and we'll take a look. Dang, time change messes stuff up all over the place. So this one was part-time change part. I originally was scheduled for a stream on Wednesday and then rescheduled it because my other job's work schedule changed. But I will be honest, I am feeling a little bit more tight. Sorry, just speechless, Shem.
Wait, does camera controls that requires a head of lettuce to use count as lettuce controls?
I would say yes. Shem, you've never said the exact number before? Or at least I don't remember the exact number. That's... Dang! That's really cool, Shem. Cat plus 300 points for watch streak. I love how into channel points y'all are, even though they can only be on one stream. It makes me really happy. Bonk works now? No. I will fix that actually right now. And today is my first day watching this Global Hack Week. I was thinking about that I hadn't seen you up till now. Shem flexing. I mean, yeah. Thank you, Kat. Let's screen share here. Wow. I fix Bonk. Hey, Spicy Gluten. Both of you can be deleted. Hey, Ulwatoyan, welcome. I'm making a bot that does that for me. That's a year of watching global... Wait, that brain. That's a year of global hack week stream watching and a couple RRs and whatnots. That, yeah, it makes sense. You have been probably one of the, if not the most consistent viewer of my streams. Okay. Cat Legos falling apart sound effects for 250 points. Ooh. Oh, this is the other type of death sound. Oh, stepping on Lego sound effect. Oh my goodness. Youch. Photo P. This is why I hate exams. Pesky things like a better future and more skills coming in the way of me redeeming more metal pipes. That is, I feel that. I'm going back to school this spring semester. So May is when I start. And I very much feel the feeling of like, I know that this is good for me. And also, wow, this is going to be a big change. Here we go. Okay. Dimmer, what if you're the stream running afterwards so that we can farm channel points? Yay, and prayers for you. Dimmer, hope you survive the madness that is coursework. I'll be fine. It will be okay. It'll just be an interesting transition. I'm so happy to graduate school. I'm really happy for you too. I think that one's the better bonk. Cat Dimmer, did you see my new lettuce profile picture on Discord and Twitch? I have not. This is, I think, peak tangent. But once I finish this, we will be doing Godot. This has been a thing that I've been promising for a while now. Great. File. Export as PNG.
Tangent alert sirens when?
I honestly can't give a promise there. Because I would say very soon. But that is like a larger project. It's not like the largest thing. But it is not nothing. If y'all can't why is Good Job having a media error? Okay. Goofy boat horn sound effect when we will eventually have another stream that is to fix this sort of thing. Spicy gluten, I think maybe a vine boom. Oh my goodness, when I was brainstorming these, we didn't have any of these. Those are all very good. I think in the future we had a lettuce sound effect, which is just wet lettuce hitting the ground. 90, negative 85. And then the size, the last thing that we need to change. 20.
I love the sound of wet lettuce in the springtime. I meant.
I like that, Shem. Okay. Theoretically, this should be working. So now if I do this.
Refund 400 for bong.
Oh, I will.
Lettuce eating asthma SFX when?
Hey, okay. Great. 404, I'm going to refund you.
Good job.
Thank you. I'm glad that
Refund MLH bong.
did not. I don't need to be refunded. I have infinite channel points. I'm glad that did not take as long as it possibly could have. With that, hello. I haven't seen anyone in the stream that I haven't seen before, so I just kind of like was vibing and messing around, but I totally forgot. Hi, I'm Dimmer. I'm a coach at Major League Hacking. I'm so excited to see y'all. And today
Let's
we are
start
going to
the stream.
I just unplugged my headphones. Today we're going to be talking about how to add lighting in Godot. I know the stream title says shaders. That is from before when we Okay. Did the good job not process there? No, it did. It did. That my brain. Previous streams we had slightly more intense technical issues than we expected. We solved most of them, if not all of them, but we're slightly behind on where we were hoping to be. So we're doing lighting today rather than shaders. But if I open up Godot for y'all. Oh, also let me share. Great. I'm going to drop a link in chat. That link is to the GitHub repo for this project. So you can take a look at what we've done thus far. And thank you, Kat, for the check-in link. Kat randomly gained 4K channel points at the end of last Godot stream. I may or may not have gone through and refunded everything just for fun. Give y'all some extra channel points. For what? Sorry. It was not like a premeditated, like, oh, 404 is not here. Refund all metal pipes when. I'm not doing that. See, if I tell y'all that that's what I'm doing, then you will act differently. But if I just do it occasionally as a treat, it just helps boost the channel points economy. Indeed, Dervision. Wait. Dervishan. Sorry.
This is like the meme, where you miss one day at school, and all the stuff happens then.
Yeah. Hey, Green Yoshi, welcome. So this is, for those of you who have not been here for any of the other Godot streams this week, this is the Godot game that we have created. We have this nice little low poly world. We have this adorable penguin. And this is really it. It doesn't look all that impressive, but a lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into getting to this point. Actually, let me, under project settings, window. Just making this bigger.
Please add this towards the end.
Hey, there we go. We have a third-person camera that we can look around, and you'll notice that it uses collisions, so it doesn't go into any of the world objects. Wow, our penguin walks fast. Forgotten how fast I made that. The controls need to definitely be adjusted a bit to be optimized to feel a little bit better, because this feels just a little chaotic. But we have the ability to jump around, to move around. We still have a few bugs and things like that, but for a start of a game, it's a good start. We'll be having a managing your channel points hangout in Discord later this Global Hack Week. I mean, I would love if channel points became a thing that people teamed up together. We were talking about creating you can create like shared channel point goals that everyone can contribute to that would be for like me eating a whole head of lettuce on stream. I can't commit to it yet, just in case, but there is going to be something coming sometime in the future that is going to be a full group channel point pooling. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I mean, I get that, and also lettuce isn't that bad. Ugh, the fact that that lip catches our character. There's so many like small bugs in this, which is disappointing. But this is our game, and today we're going to be looking at lighting. Now, I do have a tutorial, but I'll be honest, none of them were especially good. So this is, or let me rephrase, it is a good tutorial, but it is not good for what I am specifically looking to do today. So I think that to start, I'm just going to be winging it and looking at the documentation. I hate lettuce, especially lettuce with mayo that I get in a burger. Oh, lettuce and mayo on a burger is so good. I like respect your food opinions, and also I respectfully disagree with them. There's so many like non-existent floors in mine. I know, Kat. I'm so sorry. That's one of the things that we were troubleshooting, is just like really weird like bugs and issues within Godot, specifically on Kat's machine. I think the issue might be is that lettuce isn't native in India, so the lettuce here isn't good. That could be a thing. I didn't even think about that. I almost said I think that the lettuce might be that the issue isn't native in India. Or maybe my taste buds just hate lettuce, which would also be okay. And Godot crashed. Sorry about that. Let us continue. Okay. So the first thing that I'm just going to do, just by like default, is, once I fix this, great, okay, is I'm going to go into our directional light. This is what's acting as our sun. And I'm going to take our color and I'm going to change it to closer to a sunset sort of color. Okay, so we're taking a look at this. We're dark enough that this looks less like sun, or like this is like very late sunset. That's the sort of time we're looking for. Just playing around with the colors, seeing what looks pretty. I like that. And now the other thing that we need to do is we need to lengthen the shadows by changing the angle. Sweet. We have some nice long shadows. And we can see our sun looks slightly different. If we go into our world environment here, you'll notice that it looks a little cursed with like this bright sun and also a blue sky. So we change our sky color. And now this is looking pretty. Hey, Ved. That feels like sunset to me. This is, so again, the game that this is like inspired by is A Short Hike, which is just like a very wonderful, adorable game that I believe has a day-night cycle. Yeah, I think it does have a day-night cycle. And it's just very nice to just, that game has like wonderful sound design and environments, and it's just nice to exist and hang around in that game. And this is generally like, I don't know, it would be nice if we had like, oh, I just walked off the edge. We might actually have time to get to some shaders because that was fairly simple to get what I wanted. we can add some shaders to make this even prettier. Yeah, we're definitely doing shaders today. Where I would love for this to be an island, and we have like a water shader. I love a short hike. Ah, yes. Other short hike enjoyers. Yes, it's so relaxing. It is truly, I think, my favorite game. Oh my goodness, I just unplugged my headphones again. I think it is truly my favorite game of all time. Just because it is so relaxing, and it's so, like, it has, like, beautiful emotionality to it. And also, I'm bad at video games. I, like, just don't have, like, the skills and the like, reactions to be able to do well at most, like, real-time video games. So, just being able to kind of play and hang around in the space is always nice. 404, I haven't gotten a chance to play it. That is understandable. There are many games out there. But I know on Good Old Games, when I started this, it was like $4.39. Yeah, $4.39. And I always think that that's extremely worth it. It's $8. It's worth it at $8. But at this, like, I don't know. I really need to play this game again. What was the game with the cat you mentioned not long ago? Oh. I'm going to hit play on this while I find it. Let me pause the music. Oh. So I love this camera because it is not directly player controlled. It is like programmed based on the part of the world that you're in. And this is the type of camera that I wanted to implement, but it was slightly more complicated than I felt comfortable for my first like 3D third person game. So we have a more traditional camera. Hey, Pharaoh. Apologies for inadvertently interjecting a tangent. No. I found the game. It's called One Day Better. I just dropped the link in chat. I love sharing this game. And again, this excuse me. This is what we're going for. You'll notice the like very beautiful sunset vibes. The world is much nicer than ours because it was like
dimmer.
Created in 3D modeling, so it has like layers and depths and rounded edges as opposed to ours, which is grid based. I'm gonna pause here. You're very welcome, Shem. I always like sharing interesting and cool games that I found. That one was done as part of the GMTK Game Jam. Wait, so the camera is based on the part of the world? So you'll notice that the camera is, I don't want to say it's static, but it keeps one angle. But occasionally, when we look back, that angle changes based on where the player is and what's happening. So you'll notice here the camera is turning as the player moves throughout the world. So we have those camera transitions, but this camera is not directly controlled by the player. All you control is your motion. Got everything back open, it didn't crash. Hey, that's good, cat. 404, I didn't know that. Yeah, it's one of the things, again, that I feel like makes this game so relaxing, is that your job is just to walk around, and you don't need to think about abstraction, like game abstraction, like a camera or things like that, that it handles that for you. Your job is just your character. But yeah, so that's a short hike. That's what we're going for. And if we take a look at our game, I'll be honest, we are not at that level, because that's much prettier. So I'm going to make a couple of changes here. If this were yellower, Okay, I think that is... No, that looks worse.
Dimmer, are you ready to join Lettuce Club?
I am. Yes. I sadly do not have my tribute yet, but I am ready. Okay, I think this is... Oh, this is so hard because it's also just stylistic. Okay, I think this is the one that I like the most thus far. What language is this? I want to import something from a tic-tac-toe game I made, that just being a menu, but I want to make sure it's the right language. This is written in GD script. It will not be used in any place other than Godot. Apologies for that. You'll need to re-implement it. Also, you can do your user interface and menu things in Godot with the node editor like we did before. We haven't worked on that this time because we've been prioritizing other things, but it is a thing that you can do. Can Godot project be converted to another engine? Not to my knowledge, but it can be like exported to many different platforms. So it's cross-platform in its export in terms of web, desktop, mobile, every console that you can think of. But I don't believe that there is a good translation from Godot to some other engine. To be honest, I don't know of any engine that can flip between it and another one. Can you repeat that? Yeah, so in our node menu, we have canvas item, and we have control. And under control, all of these different nodes give us menu bars and text blocks and color blocks, tab bars, video players, all of the different things that you might need in your user interface. Buttons, different types of containers. And you can use that to build something. You don't need to write it just with code. Okay, what is the lettuce thing? So we were sworn to secrecy. And also, I will probably explain it later. Hey, I don't think I got the sun in my project down. Could you explain that part again? Yeah. So, I'm actually going to delete both. And I'll get back to the point that you were at. Oh my goodness.
I won't tell anyone if you don't.
This looks so much worse. Okay. So, add sun, add environment. This is where you are at right now. What I did was I clicked on directional light 3D. This is what's acting as our sun. And then I clicked on light and changed the color. So in this case, I dragged down the darkness and you can select any color that you think feels good, but I'm looking for a sunset scene. Hex code, you can see the hex code down at the bottom. But I think it's okay for you to experiment. This is our like Bob Ross moment. Okay, I think this is where one second. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Just weird chat message that brought up some other things that I have been dealing with in life in general recently. Ugh. Getting that guide always sucks. For those of you who don't know, the streaming idea of being that guide is when someone says something that isn't necessarily like, well, usually it's something pretty awful. In this case, it wasn't anything awful. Dark Lord, if you're still here, I timed you out just because it's a little just like inappropriate for this style of stream. But being that guide is when one person in your chat says something that makes you feel very like uncomfortable or bad. The rest of your chat is being incredible, but you just like, you're suddenly just like, ugh. Okay. We can make our own club for pizza. Pizza's your thing. We definitely need a strategic regrouping. Okay. Let me give some brief context. On Sunday night, I and Ryan Lay, who is a new coach, were hanging out doing a Type Racer mini event in Discord. And Ryan has in his Discord profile a link to Lettuce Club, and he can describe that a lot better than I can. But in essence, Lettuce Club is a meme across many different universities where a group of people all sit down with heads of lettuce and try to eat the entire head of lettuce in one sitting as fast as possible. And the person who can eat them their head of lettuce the fastest becomes King Lettuce and then needs to host the meetup for the next year. And Ryan is quite involved in lettuce event organizing. And we got to talking about lettuce, and things spiraled as they do in mini events. And we kind of decided that lettuce would be the next thing in MLH. For those of you who, I actually don't know how many, if any of y'all some of you might have been, but I doubt it, because this was when I was just a hacker. We're around for the growth of Blahaj, and Blahaj was a grassroots movement, and we're seeing if we can spread lettuce to be the next MLH icon. But the idea is that we don't tell. This is recorded, so sorry to the future leaders of our organization. But the goal is that we don't like make it a big thing officially. We don't tell people like head honcho Ryan or anything like that. But we just slowly start using more and more lettuce reacts and add lettuce to our usernames and talk about lettuce and see how far it can spread. That's generally our goal right now. That's the context. Lettuce cry emoji instead of Blahaj cry. Is there Blahaj cry? Oh yeah, there is Blahaj cry. Exactly, MLH needs a second act. Indeed. For those of you who also don't know, I always like to bring this up because it's something that I'm very proud of. The Blahaj emotes in Discord, all of them except for Blahaj cry, were made by me. Lettuce Club makes me wonder what's the LD50 of lettuce in humans. I don't know what LD50 is. Anoscos. LD50. Lethal dose. Okay. No way, that's super cool. Read the emojis. Yeah, it's my like claim to fame from before I became a coach. I made those and I sent them to an MLHer that I knew on the inside, and they added them to the Discord server without saying anything. So I know that we've stealthed things into the MLH ethos before. Note to self, make way more pizza emojis. I think that would be a lot harder to do now because I did that 3 years ago. So the Discord server was a little bit less calcified in that coaches had a lot more like individual like I don't know. I don't have admin in the Discord server. I have like certain channels that I can post in and things like that. But it used to be that you could just do whatever you kind of wanted. Lettuce Club suddenly seems anticlimactic, but thanks for looping us in. Yeah, it is a little anticlimactic. The fun is in the fact that it is so like weird and elusive, which is why we kind of were like, no, we aren't going to share it. But also all of y'all who are here right now are like regulars. And it is important to bring you into the fold to help proselytize our lettuce takeover. It felt like the next Global Hack Week when we didn't know. 100%. Yeah. Sometimes things can be more exciting before you know. Hello, Parthenox. Welcome. I missed someone who stopped by.
How many channel points does Dead Namadimer have?
Hey, I'm 45. Welcome. Not that many, I'll be honest. 6K. I don't actually watch MLH that much. It is open to act as a moderator, but it's not like active on my screen such that it gets channel points very frequently.
I'm 45,145V is also known as Ashish. Sorry.
Oh, no, you're totally good. Thanks for stopping by, Ashish.
OMG, that's like 2 whole metal pipe. Gimme.
I mean, so it's not that important to me in the same way that it is to y'all, because I have access to the Major League Hacking. So if I share my screen now, you'll notice, look at my channel points here. These are my channel points. Y'all can't even imagine having the power that I have at my fingertips. So it doesn't matter how many channel points Dead Name Dimmer has, because this is me. I have 24.9k channel points. That's very respectable. That's extremely respectable. Shem Infinity, yes. Dimmer is the final evil villain all along. You should run predictions so we can bet our channel points. I have thought about this, but it is hard. So predictions don't actually add new channel points into the economy. It is that it takes them from the losers and gives them to the winners. And that feels kind of bad in a community as small as this. When you have a chat that is like 500 people, that feels fine because you aren't stealing from individuals. But in this, if I were to do predictions, everyone would be saying what they predicted. And you would know that the channel points, like, I don't know, it would feel bad if I knew that like 404 put all their channel points up and I stole them. Like, that kind of just, yeah. Waiting for the 1 million lettuce-themed Rickroll art alternative. Shem, I would totally share my channel points with folks. That is a thing that we could do. We could use it to do a redistribution where we have a giving and a receiving side, and whoever predicts the receiving side will receive an equal cut of all of the channel points that were put into the giving side. We can talk about that for the future. With that, though, indeed, Ashish.
As long as you put a metal pipe sound effect after stealing my points, I'm happy.
True, I could create my own point system where I redeem the sound effects for y'all. That seems a little less fun, because part of the fun is the fact that you can do it without me needing to know or, like, do anything. But yeah. So, okay, this is the start of our lighting. And then what we wanted to do to make the shadows longer is I just grabbed it by any of these rotation wheels and I just rotate it. And you'll notice that by rotating it, you change the direction of the light such that we can have some longer shadows. And now that feels, I'm sure that there are better things that we could do. But generally, this feels pretty sunset to me. The other thing was the sky.
You're not sharing your other screen.
Oh my goodness, thank you. So let me undo this then. On our directional light, we can rotate by any of these gizmos to increase our shadow length. So here, I think that looks very sunset shadow length to me. And then the other thing is our sky looks a little bit weird with we have like our orange, yellow sun and a blue sky. So in our world environment, sky, procedural, sky. It takes a sec. We can set our top color. To something like... Wait, I need to look at a sunset. I need a reference here. All of these are like so intensely oversaturated. It becomes more clear where the shading needs to happen as you change the lighting. Yep. I really don't understand coding in GD script. It is mostly Python syntax, except for the thing that I think you're struggling to understand is not GD script, but Godot, because you're basically like the language itself is your arrays, your for loops, your whatevers, your if thens.
Sun tangent. Is anyone in the path of totality in April? I am and am so excited.
Hey, I'm going to respond to this in a sec. I want to finish my thought and then we'll go on a tangent. But the thing here is that like the thing that is overwhelming about this is that you need to understand all of the built-in functions and methods in Godot in order to use Godot, which is just like a thing that you learn over time. There we go. That looks as close to a sunset as I'm going to get today. Now, the thing is for us to make this, add some shaders so that we have a nice like water backgrounds as if we're on an island. And then in our shaders, I think I want to add some like toon shading and we'll see. But the length of the shadows, I was able to change the light 3D though, but the length of the so to change the length of the shadows, you rotate it here. You need to move and rotate the object itself. Yes. It's a little weird, spicy. And speaking of path of totality, I am not directly in the path of totality. But I am like close. I'm here in Ann Arbor. So I could, if I wanted to, drive like an hour to get to totality. I don't think I'm going to. But I am close enough that we'll see what I notice. I believe my local library.
Dox yourself.
I mean, I've talked about living in where I live.
Doxing skull.
Y'all are acting like I haven't told you that I live in Ann Arbor before. I like told you that I like am going to the University of Michigan, which is in Ann Arbor. Like, I'm not like scrolling down and being like, here is my exact street address. Come knock on my door. But yeah, it's like, again, it's one of the major cities in Michigan. The University of Michigan isn't in Michigan. No, it is. It is. I'm really bad at geography, so I had no clue where Ann Arbor was. Wait, Ann Arbor is in Michigan? Yes. So this is Michigan, right here. And this is Ann Arbor, which is a city in Michigan, which contains the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor. I thought Ann Arbor was in Washington. There might be another Ann Arbor in Washington, but the Ann Arbor that I am referring to is, how is that not Canada? I am literally north of Canada. This is Canada right here. there are parts of Canada that are more south than me. I have friends that are driving a little farther north just to get an extra 60 seconds of totality. I mean, if you're really into it, I support that. That makes no sense. That can't be real. It's cool. So people who grow up in, I would call it the Metro Detroit area. Detroit is the biggest city in Michigan. And I grew up around here in my childhood. People would like consistently cross over the Canada border, just like casually. There's like a different drinking age and stuff like that. All I know about Detroit is becoming human. I mean, understandable. Detroit has a storied past, I'd call it. So some people have positive associations, some people have negative associations, and some people just have Detroit become human. Can you just go right across the Canada border there? Yeah, there's actually a bus that goes across. And oh my goodness, I was about to show you my driver's license. That would be doxing myself. It's cool because thoughts, brain. There is like an extra step that you can go through on your American driver's license to make it so that you can drive into Canada and Mexico, which you can get anywhere in the US. But like if you live in like Denver, you aren't necessarily going to be using that, but it's really nice to be able to just like show someone my driver's license, drive across the border, hang out there, drive back. And yeah, so I say this because I'm right next to the border, but yeah, if you live up in Maine or Vermont, like you are north of Canada. Dimmer, what if you just go through Canada to be in the path of totality? I mean, the path of totality is shown darker, and all of Canada is shown darker on this map. So therefore, all of Canada must be in path of totality. I could cross the border and take a train to Niagara Falls. Dimmer can then say, I crossed 2 national borders to see the sun. So it's funny. So my like second job is I work at my local library, and the brain. The director of the library sent out an email saying, we are not providing eclipse glasses. The last eclipse, every news media outlet in the United States was saying, go to your local library to get eclipse glasses. And we had like 600, and thousands of people showed up wanting them. So we are doing nothing. It was like a disaster. Basically, every person who worked at a local library during the 2016 or 2017 eclipse, whenever it was, like just had like a horrible time with everyone just like looking for things. And we also needed to, like, Ann Arbor is rich. So the library has a lot of funding, which is cool. And also it's a little bit weird sometimes that like you can just like check out a telescope and things like that, which is cool. I think that all libraries should be able to do that, but only the rich libraries are able to. But we needed to stop letting people check out the telescope because people were going to check out the telescope to look directly into the sun during the solar eclipse. I'm in Vermont, but that part of Canada is just to the west. Just to the west is south of the United States. Oh yeah, you're right. That part too. That's one reason I wouldn't recommend driving to be in the path of totality. It's going to be a lot of folks traveling for it. Yeah. And also, like, I don't know. Again, I'm probably going to go to my local library because we're trying to have like a safe viewing up on, we have like a giant screen in the lobby and we're going to have like a recording there. I don't have solar eclipse, so maybe I'll wait until nighttime to get the experience. I mean, it is roughly the same. What about a 50k channel points reward to refund all other channel points spent in that stream? There's no way that 50k channel points are spent during the stream. Like, it just doesn't work. What I think I could do is if I wanted to, I could like start, like if you submit proof of completing challenges and things like that, I could refund channel points to people. That could be something that I start doing, but I'm not going to start doing that yet because I don't know exactly what to do. But yeah, that's our little tangent about the solar eclipse and also about living in Michigan. Which also, I live in the southern part of Michigan. If you live up in the Upper Peninsula, like, I don't know. It is always funny when I have a friend who lives in Toronto. And when I like went to visit, she was talking about like how like I wouldn't be used to the Canadian cold. And I was just like, yes, Toronto is a little bit higher up. But like, it's enough that like, this is like my hometown was here. My hometown is in line with Toronto. I'm just reading the scheming that is happening in chat. I did at a couple points. I was doing like really detail-oriented tasks, and when I closed my eyes, I could still see it. The one that I remember is from my childhood. My father wanted to have the lawn be free of dandelions. And for those of you who don't know, a dandelion looks like this. It's a small yellow flower, and it is a weed. And at least in Michigan, this is not an uncommon sight to see. Like, if your school has like a yard, this is what your schoolyard will look like at different times of the year. And my father wanted our yard to be removed of all dandelions. And going through and manually, like, ripping out every single dandelion. When I closed my eyes, I could see dandelions. We eat the dandelions in our salad with lettuce here in Vermont. Yeah. So I know a lot of people who eat dandelions. I'm always scared too, because so many different places, like, use really horrible, awful pesticides to try killing dandelions. So I don't know where to trust that the dandelions have not been sprayed by like the most toxic things imaginable. But yeah, I've heard good things about, yep, dandelion tea, dandelion wine, dandelion in salads. I would have been surprised, but I did know that from reading The Hunger Games. Good to know. Interesting. Oh, yeah, and then when they, like, I want to use the word ripen, which is the wrong word, but when they go to spread their seeds, they look like this, and you can blow on them and all the seeds fly away. Which is like an iconic childhood memory. Anyway, all of this is to say, hey, oh look, we have a sunset. Did you make wishes? Yes, I made wishes. Who knew violent redacted for chat safety books had agricultural tips in there? Hey, thanks for the follow, Spicy Gluten. Such a surprise. I would have never expected you to follow. I have never read The Hunger Games, so I am quite surprised. I just realized I never followed. No, I get that. So, okay. We've done that with the sunset. Now, there are a couple things that I want to do with shaders. So I'm going to make a poll. What shader should we work on first? We have number 1, water/waves to surround our island. We have number 2, toon shading to get that Breath of the Wild look. And then we also have cartoon outline. And then we have any other ideas from y'all about what we should do with shaders?
Extra bloom.
I think Breath of the Wild is so much better than Tears of the Kingdom. I've never played Tears of the Kingdom. Shader lib. What can you render fur on? I mean, I'm sure it could be on any mesh. But I honestly don't know. I have never used these before. I've only played 3 games in my lifetime, discounting browser games. Those are Minecraft, Genshin Impact, and NFS Rivals. Ah. Okay. I'm going to start this poll. While I look into how to implement some things.
My chippy chappa chappa 10 hours closed. What face, what face?
Okay. I have found a better... Oh my goodness. There's so many beautiful shaders. Shem not voting because I haven't done the work on this game. Okay. I respect that. I am just going through and I'm looking. I've stopped sharing my screen because I don't want... I'm going to some new... Yep. Okay. Glad that I'm not sharing my screen. There are people who have created things that are tools for you to use in your games that are not the type of tools that I want to be showing on this screen. Still don't have enough for dramatic tension. Okay. It looks like we have water. So, I'm going to find... Thank you, Dolphin. I'm going to find... We found a great water shader yesterday. Great. The site Godot shaders is what I've started using just now because it is so much better. Great. Looks like water, 1. And it is beautiful looking. We also have this 3D pixel art, which it seems to be exactly like what we're looking for based on what we saw in A Short Hike. So these are the 2 shaders that we're going to look to implement first. And then this stylized grass exists, and I would love to implement it, but it seems a little bit more complicated. Because it's not just a shader. I would also need to implement that being like existing in the world and interacting with it. So let's start with this. Oh, hey, Jackson. I just noticed. Dimmer, if I have a genius idea, go for it. Make the map an island and surround it with the water and make some little cabins and homes that the player can stay at. That sounds extremely cute. So we are going to be making an island. I have beach that we're going to surround this with. I don't have cabin textures yet, but we could totally do that. I would love to continue. I love doing game development streams with y'all. So I would love to keep building on this. Because, yeah, I really don't like the way that this grid is very functional, but it looks very rigid as opposed to the map in A Short Hike, which is very flowing and natural. So I would love to do more streams on map design and things like that. With that, we are going to be implementing some shaders. So I'm going to add a child node that is going to be a plane. No, it is going to be a mesh. Mesh instance 3D. And then in that mesh instance 3D, I am creating a new plane mesh. And this plane mesh is going to be very large. That gets almost to the horizon, but not exactly, so it needs to be a little bit larger. Ooh, map design, I'd so love to see that. I would love to run that. Okay, that's better. I'm sure that there's probably a slightly better way of doing this without needing a giant plane. Actually, there might not be. Okay, I'll do it. Please, map design stream. Yes, so I don't have complete control because it depends somewhat on what the theme for the different Global Hack Weeks is. But generally, yes. I am going to be pitching that for a future Global Hack Week. Just adding a node 3D that'll be the parent of all of our different map objects so I can scale them all up. Because our penguin is looking a little bit small or a little bit large for this world. Yeah, you gotta run it by the MLH folks for sure. Yeah, indeed. Wind sound effects in the background of the game when, like, ACNH background sounds. Again, there's so many things I would love to add to this. And this is where, like, if I were doing this myself, I would just have, like, a weekly stream where we would just continue to work on the game and add things and work on different features. That would be the way that I'd go about it. And I theoretically kind of got permission in the past to do more frequent streams, but that was a while ago with different sponsors and different, like, MLH was streaming differently. So if I were to do this, I could pitch MLH, or I might stream that myself personally. We just need to see. Stream it on Dead Name Dimmer? Indeed, I could. Great. If I now run this. Okay, there we go. This looks like this is probably a little bit too big. Our penguin is a little bit small, but this is more what I want the world to look like, where our penguin is just a small little penguin in a big wide world. Oh my goodness, this feels so much better. I didn't realize how much the scale was making this feel awful. Great, let's add our water texture. So we have our mesh. We scroll down to shader material. Mesh. Resource. The penguin is perfect size. IMHO. Okay. Surface material. Geometry. Oh, it's probably under visibility. No. Where is shader? Global illumination, visibility range, visual instance, sorting, transform, visibility, process. Huh. Dimmer, what if you just always pin links? So the problem is that other people can't pin and unpin links. Other streamers can't. It would be another thing that only I could do. Wait, what did you do to scale it? So what I did was I created a node 3D and I made it the parent of all of our map. And then I just changed in the transform, I changed the scale of this node 3D. Because we have multiple different layers for our mesh. And then we have our like ocean texture, which, how to add a shader to a mesh instance, Godot. Oh, the shader's in the material. Okay. Surface material override. New shader material. There we go. Shader. New shader. Water. Create. Now we can open our GD shader. And we get our shader editor. Which we can now just copy this Creative Commons 0 shader right here. Paste it. Got it. Thank you. You're welcome. Spicy gluten. And does get font not exist in Godot? You'll need to look at the documentation for that. I honestly don't know off the top of my head. Oh my goodness. Well, that was quick and easy. Okay, it's scaled a little bit too big. Shader params. Tile wave size. So that's going to be the height of the wave. Tile. There we go. Okay, so we make that bigger. It just needs to scale down some. It's more like blue tectonic plates. Oh, yes. Right now it's a little intense. Height. I believe that's the height of like the swells. Yes, it is. Okay. Great. So now I just move this down a little bit. Still down a little bit. And then if we play, we'll need to add like a beach for our character. But that's some water. We're on an island. I think to line it up the ground, you need close to 0 swell height. So the goal is that I'm going to add a little drop down that is the beach, and the swell height will allow it to wash up onto the beach. But you are right that I should make the height of this transform position 0. This is literally the Pal World spawn point in progress. New Pal World spawn. You've talked about Pal World a lot, and I don't see what it is with this game that makes you think of Pal World, but I trust you. Okay, so that's our first shader. Next, let's take a look at the 3D pixel art. Oh my goodness. Okay, it's just code. How to add a post-processing shader. Godot. Big difference from Power World, though. Dimmer has no pending Nintendo lawsuits. I mean, I might have if we had used Woohoo Island. Okay. Hey, we include Bloom is built into Godot. Good to know. The easiest way to implement a custom is to use Godot's built-in. Oh, goodness. Shaders are complicated. This is my first time ever working with them, so it's a little intense. Okay. Godot shading language. Okay, you know what? We're skipping the theory. GitHub push when? Soon. I just realized why this looks a little bit weird. It's because our world color is not the same as our watercolor. Like, we can make our horizon color the watercolor, and it'll look a lot better. World environment. Wait, no. In here, under... Where's our material? Surface material overrides. Okay. I accidentally control W'd my Twitch tab. I'll be updating the GitHub in a sec. I just want to make this slightly better first. Okay. So in our world environment, sky, procedural, we can change the ground so that our bottom color is what? Oh. Our sky does lighting automatically. There we go. Okay. Now we'll be able to have better control over what everything actually looks like. Almost done with the main menu code.
Good job.
Make sure that you... Kat, do you know how to use Git? Because if you're going to pull from what I've made... God, that light is so harsh. I get why the ambient light was there, because it did help. Could you repeat that my whole computer is froze? Do you know how to use Git? Because if you pull, or if you just like, I don't want you to lose your changes that you have made when you update with my changes. Okay. If that works for you, Kat, theoretically there are better ways to do that in GitHub, but this is not a stream on how to use GitHub, and I am not the person to teach it to you, because I am not a very experienced user myself. Okay, there we go. We can get this to match better. Oh wait, that's not the control that I'm looking for. I'm looking for horizon here. There we go. Great, okay. So we have our water. We still have our sunset. Now, oh yes, it was our... We're looking for our pixel shader. Canvas layer, color rec.
The time for my short break led to flooding of the island. Climate change is really rising SMH.
I mean, yeah. That is... Yes. We need to figure out how to make sure that those values are good.
Good job.
Thank you, 404. Assign a new shader to the color rec. Material, shader, pixel. Share type is already defined. Screen texture, screen UV. Unknown identifier and expression view matrix. Let's take a look at the demo. Note that the shaders only work as intended when using a low game resolution. If you want to have a higher resolution UI, ah. So this is not actually designed to do the pixelization. It is just designed for doing the edge highlighting. Yeah, it's just an outline highlight shader. TTS is giantest and free? Sorry, wait, I don't know what you're referring to there. Oh! Wait, laugh track is the biggest. Thankfully, you could spam the most with it. True, Way is right that you can use TTS the most. Pixel art water, clean pixel art outline, pixelation via 3D material. Pixelation. Pixel Art upscale filter, no, don't need that. Palette filter, circle pixel. 3D pixelization. Pixelate. That's not the one that we want. Okay, great. Let's use this. Pixelates the screen output with a custom pixel size. Use a shader on a quad mesh placed in front of the camera. Okay. Let us add child node, mesh instance 3D. Wait, no, this needs to be in our player object because that's where our camera is. Pixelization might be a little bit too much for my knowledge, but we'll see. We're going to add a child node, mesh instance 3D. It's going to go in front of our camera. Mesh, quad mesh in front of our camera. No, it should stay a square, so our pixels are square. Transform. We're going to scale it up. Okay. Now this mesh instance, surface material override, new shader material, new shader, pixelate, screen texture has been moved in favor of using hint screen texture with a uniform. Continue with middle. Uniform sampler 2D screen texture. So this is where theoretically there's so much to learn about shaders to like actually make them like beautiful and great. And we're just kind of implementing some things that we found online. So I definitely think that we will be coming back to this at some point to learn more of the theory. Hint, screen, texture, filter, linear, map. Great. Expected valid hint type. Continue uniform sampler 2D screen texture. Hint screen texture. Filter linear map. Okay. Now if I hit play, theoretically some magic should just happen. That doesn't look like anything's changed to me. Use shader on a quad mesh placed in front of the camera. Pixel screen up with custom pixel size. It might just be that the pixel size there is too small. Set it to 10. I still am not noticing any change. GCD. $120. It's the highest we can go. I'm betting that this just like isn't working because I'm missing something. But just to double check, yeah, okay. So I am just missing something. I will also be honest. I don't know if I like the look of this. It takes what is really nice art and just makes it feel like blurry and not like intentional at all. Pixelate screen output with custom pixel size. Instructions use shader on a quad mesh placed in front of. That might have, I just changed the order so that it hopefully, hey, it is working. Okay, it was just that the shader wasn't moving with the camera. So we need to make it bigger and move it closer to the camera and turn down our pixel size a lot. But it is working. It looks like a vulgarity filter or something. We will get past that. It's not meant to. If we try this now. Okay, that didn't work. Hey! Okay, so when our camera gets too close to our character, it turns off. But if we ignore that, it is looking nice. So, let's try that. Okay. Still working. Again, when our camera's like touching the character. Well, yeah, no, that's turning off completely. You can see around the nose we have straight lines, whereas on the head we have a pixelated edge. This is too much. We aren't going to keep it this high, but this is just to better illustrate the issue. You can see that it like just suddenly turns off. And it is due to this being a plane in front of the camera. So if anything's intersecting, it's like a parade when the camera is touching the character.
Are we gonna do the bird's eye view camera?
Not today. We have 20 more minutes, but eventually it would be lovely to make a game that uses that. Again, I would love to keep working on this. but given what we had time to work on today for Global Hack Week, yes. Now that's too close. Still too close. Okay. Now that's working. Let's see. Do we still have that error? No, we do not. We can get as close as we want, and we can see inside our character with it still working. Great. Okay. So now I'm going to turn down the amount that it's pixelating there. This seems like a good amount to me. I like this. Now, what we just need to do is add our second shader, which is that edge highlighting shader. Shader works both as a post-processing and so we're going to add this as a material shader onto our character and onto the world. So oh no. Okay, I'm first going to add it onto our character because I actually know how to do that. Wait, no, this doesn't... Create a mesh instance 3D. Make the mesh a quad mesh, side 2-2, and flip face set to true. Create a new standard. Use the disable shader button. If you want to hit. This is my version of... Yeah, there are all these errors with it, so this is not what we're looking for. But I'm going to try it if we basically add a second mesh instance. This probably isn't how you're supposed to do this. Again, I don't know any of the theory behind this. So that will be a thing that will be nice to learn later. Where is this? Copy. Transform. Paste. Two. So you... Great. We're actually just going to duplicate the mesh that we used for the other shader. Because, yeah, this is still working. Great. So we are going to duplicate this. And then its transform, we're going to move it such that it is in front of the... No, it should be behind the previous shader. Surface material override. New shader material. Shader, new shader. Edge. Highlight. Now if we open up Edge Highlight, and we copy this, hopefully now let's take a look and see what this looks like. It looks broken. No, okay, that's actually kind of working. So it needs to be before our pixelate. So let's flip this order here. If we do that now, okay, we'll need to make some edits because to make that line thickness bigger. Get depth, get position, normal indicators, vertex, fragment, highlights, shadows. Let's take a look at the demo here. Higher resolution, you should enter the game. Some of you more textures, right? You want to fix a higher resolution render, you have to use something else. So the shader could be. The shader is meant for the forward plus. Okay. So this is not working the way that we necessarily want it to. So .404, no joke. I'm scared the index and middle fingers of my left hand are straight up not moving horizontally. I think I should go see a doc in the morning. Not a medical professional, but I don't actually know if... are you having any pain in your hand? If you're having any sort of pain, it could be indicative of a larger problem. But if you can only not move them... No, but it feels like clotting feeling in my underarm. That is... I don't know what your healthcare system is like, and I don't know what the cost of healthcare is where you are. But losing movement in something without a, like, traumatic injury to it, like if you didn't hit it on something, is... Oh, it's really cheap healthcare. It is very indicative of a larger problem. Because if you were to like hit it on something or strain it somehow, then it can just be a smaller injury. But if you lose motion without that, $20 for treatment. Okay, that is hell yeah. Good healthcare. Yeah, that's something you should definitely talk to a doctor about. To the extent that, like, again, not a medical professional. But if you have like an urgent care or an emergency care setting, that might be a good thing to talk to them about that. Because losing motion on a part of your body is indicative of clotting. Or if you're having any issues with speech or paralyzation of your face, immediately talk to a healthcare professional. I'll be praying for you, 404. Same. I don't necessarily pray, but I'm definitely wishing you the best. I don't know. I'll wait for a few minutes, maybe just temporary blood flow stop due to poor posture. Anything more, I will run to the hospital. That sounds like a very good plan. Because yeah, it could just be something small and minor. Just reading that in Twitch chat, that sounds really scary. I'm sorry you have to go through that. And I hope that everything's okay and that it's just like a small minor like posture thing or something like that. Oh, absolutely, especially if it's that cheap, don't not take the opportunity to keep your health up. Yeah. That is like, yeah. Ooh, that's rough. It feels weird to just be like, okay, and now back to, our coding here, but we have a couple more minutes. What I'm going to do
Let
here...
us continue. No issues, LMAO.
Okay. I'm going to take our player model...
How do I attach the library to my grid map?
So, if you have the library and you have your grid map, in your grid map, under Mesh Library, you're going to click this drop... I clicked the wrong thing. Under Mesh Library, you're going to click the drop down, and you're going to I would click Quick Load, and it'll show you your library there, and you can just click on that to link the two. In our player, no, under our character model, ooh, our player model here is our penguin plush.
Just a reminder, your screen is not visible.
Oh my goodness. How long has it been? Oh, okay, that was when 404 said that. Thank you. I haven't actually done anything important yet. Under our penguin here, we're going to create a new inherited scene that we're going to do as penguin because we're going to add a shader to this penguin. So under our box here, surface material, new shader material. Oh no, that removed everything. Mesh. Shadow mesh. Light map size. Okay, that was not actually useful for us. We might not be able to get that edge highlighting done today. No, we definitely don't have time for the edge highlighting. But we have water, we have sunset, and we have pixelization, all of which are some good first steps. Again, emulating my favorite game, A Short Hike. We're getting there. All of the scaling feels a bit off. This water feels too big, and I think our penguin is just a little bit too small. It is very nice to have like a big world where you feel small, and I love being able to jump in the middle of our little statue here. But yeah, so this is, I'm going to save this, and I'm going to push to GitHub, because this is the last stream of Global Hack Week that I'm doing.
Scale all the world down a slight bit, maybe?
So I'm going to leave that for y'all to do. Final commit of Global Hack Week games. It has been committed and pushed. Y'all can continue to tweak things, make changes, add on to it. But the GitHub repo has been updated. And also, I would love to come back to this to do, like we talked about before, streams on level design and streams on more intense shaders. I would love to keep on doing streams on all of this game development stuff. These are some of my favorite streams to ever do. I love game development. I think it is a lovely way to get people into
Good job.
programming. Hey, before you leave, could you send the shaders link? Yes.
Good
Thank
job.
you. That is such a good idea. So it's godotshaders.com. I'm going to send this top link. You're very welcome, Dervishan. Godotshaders.com. I'm sending this to you so that you can find all the other things. And then in here, thank you for the metal pipe. You can search for water. And when you search for the water shader, you will find what we used, which was Wind Waker 2D water shader right there. But you can also find low poly water, water hot spring, 2D procedural water, all these different things. And you can also search for pixel. And we used, if we scroll down, 3D pixelation, this one right here. So, before I forget, I will add these resources. I will change out the resources in the description of the YouTube recording. Great. Okay, so in the description on YouTube, we have the 2 previous Godot tutorials that we've used. We have the link to the GitHub repo, and we have the link to this website where you can find all of these interesting shaders. With that, I am going to say goodbye to y'all for my final stream of Global Hack Week. This has been, I think, my favorite Global Hack Week that I've done thus far. We had a wonderful project. I loved streaming so much on Sunday and getting to talk to y'all so much. Thank you all so much for coming. I had some amazing conversations with y'all, including about lettuce. The game is finished. So the game is definitely not finished, but we are out of time. So we can still add more to it, but I would need to do that in a future Global Hack Week. But I want to make sure that y'all can add more to it as well. With that, what should I do about Tower of Lettuce then? You can do whatever you want with it. I would love you to finish that project. And then if you send it to me for the future, we can take a look at it on stream. I think that would be wonderful. Bye, Dimmer. Amazing stuff is YouTube. Thank you, 404. Thanks for all the talks and fun times. Thank you, Spicy Gluten. I'm glad, Green Yoshi, that it was fun. You're welcome, Pharaoh.
Good job.
Bye, Shem. Really interesting. I enjoyed it. Thanks, Dimmer. Thank you, Nosgos. Sorry that I keep stumbling on your name. Shrey, see you next month again in API rule. I'll see you all in April. I'm excited for it too. But I don't get VIP for it. So, I'm sorry. I know I said that I would do that, but I actually don't have the ability to do that. We can look at it on stream, but I won't be able to give you anything special for it. What I will say is I will give you the ability to redeem a channel point reward of your choosing with my infinite stash of channel points. With that, oh wait, let me see what's coming up next. At least eat the lettuce. I don't have any lettuce. I thought that I was streaming on Wednesday, so I didn't go out to the store. I'm sorry. I really dropped the ball. I made a promise that I couldn't keep, and that's on me. I try not to do that, but in this case I did. Sorry, cat. Coming up next is game world building with recurrent neural networks. Part 1, character generation with GRUs. Really dropped the pipe there, but with Gabriella. So stick around for that. And with that, bye y'all. Happy hacking. Want to make sure I don't run over. Thank you all so much for coming. Bye.